bro. Oh my god.
So I want to share a story of something that happened last night, and maybe you can pull a few little tips on how to leave your body from it. So I wanted to speak about intentions because I was getting really curious with how intentions work and how they affect what seems like every single cell of your physical body to make what the intention is formed for come to fruition. So let's take astral projection, for example. I sat down and recorded myself setting the intention to astral project, and I was speaking out how I noticed the energy move throughout my body and change my consciousness subtly by changing how my body was working subtly. So what I did is I set the intention. I felt the intention up here. There was a lot of stimulation going on in my head, and I felt this wave of energy go up through that area, and that energy had changed. Once it went through that area, it went down through my legs and then back up, and it started creating this cycle. So I held that intention for quite a while. And then I went to my bathroom because I wanted to go shower. Now, this is where things got a little bit more interesting, because I started watching videos that pertain to astral projection. So I started getting very excited for astral projection. That was like the only thing on my mind. That was where, granted, that was the only thing that my awareness was focusing on. So my awareness has a direct impact on my physical body, or just my body in general, because everything is an internal experience. So my whole internal is basically focused on astral projection. You kind of see where I'm going here, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and this is where things started getting really fun, because I was watching this video by a man named Ryan Crawford about Meditation 101, and I was like, you know what, I might as well give it a little look. And it was silly, like the simple things I was missing, but I still was missing them. So I started implementing these things, and I became very still. When I become very still, I can do a lot of things with my consciousness. So this is where I gotta regress a little bit and tell you a little story, because it pertains to why I wanted to do this and why this was so exciting. I went camping and I had my Kundalini awakening, and that was August, I want to say it was like 17th to 19th. So the 18th was the Kundalini awakening. The 17th was the first day we were there, and we set up our campsite. Everyone was at the table eating, having fun, talking about campfire, all that stuff. I left to go watch the stars. And when I was out there, I had this idea of, okay, can I like move my consciousness to where they're at and just be here, but still affect them over there? And so what I did is I did what I call partial astral projection. And the way that I've learned, I gain awareness of my astral body, my mental body, my subtle body, whatever you want to call it. And with that, I'm able to function outside of where my physical body is rooted. I can feel my phantom body here right now, but I can also make it go lay down on my bed and be facing towards my wall with its back aimed at me. And I'm saying that as I'm doing it right now. I know it just sounds like I'm saying words, but to me, it's like I'm aware of two different places at one time. So I projected out, and I went to my friends. And here's the thing, right? Think about like subliminals. If I astral project and I go to my little brother, I can speak with him. Though he might not be conscious, I'm speaking to an aspect of his consciousness. And I can say certain things, I can suggest to him certain things, and it goes back, and he'll wake up and he'll have no recollection of it. However, it is now in his subconscious mind. And a lot of people act from their subconscious mind. A lot of their actions, a lot of their emotions stem from places that they're not aware of, because everything that you feel is an aspect of you. It is consciousness. Anything that you experience is consciousness. So, with that understanding, I went to my friends, and while they were talking, I would feel out who felt like was they were the most stressed, who they weren't being given attention. I was hearing out other people. I was I was suggesting to people to speak more about what got them excited, and when everything was really happy, I would sit and enjoy it. If someone was pushing someone else's buttons, I would focus my energy on them and kind of be like, hey, don't do that. And I was essentially navigating the emotional air and trying to make myself more dense there. I was trying to put the majority of my awareness over there because I could still tell where my physical body was and the stress my physical body had because it was sitting upright and spine erect on a little bit of an angle, so that took some inner muscles and it was just getting hard to hold. So I eventually dropped in. So that was what happened to me on August 17th, right? Partially astral projected. I had quite an experience. That was only like the first half of the night. The next half of the night, everyone was in their tents, and I was just going through to like each person's tent, like reading the energy. I was having fun. What happened? Oh yes. So this night, I go there, and I'm like, I want to go to the park because my bike got stolen, and that was my form of transportation. So there's this park that I really want to go by to stretch and do yoga and all these things. So I was like, okay. I astral projected when I was there, partially. I partially got out of my body. I didn't get fully out. And I was like, okay, it feels safe. I have an imprint of that area in the astrals. I feel like I know what it's like. Because if I go into my room, it has a certain feeling. Just as like the room that I was staying at when I was back in my family's has a certain feeling. And if I can think about that certain feeling, and just set the intention to when I open my eyes, I'm going to be there. It can be there. Just as like I can manifest a door and say when I open the door, I'm going to be there. And so it's different forms of travel in the astral. It can be different ways. You can just think about a place and you just zip over there, or you can create a makeshift way to get there. It all depends. However, that's what I was doing. I wanted to go to the park. So I set the intention, and I roll my astral to the right, and see that backpack right there? Yeah. I'm looking in the top pocket, and I see a water bottle. I'm like, okay, this is good, this is sweet, I like this. And I get up, there's people, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, okay. And I get out, and I don't see my physical body on the ground. I'm not really sure what's going on here. And so I notice I'm about to leave, so I start doing push-ups, and I start looking at the space in between my fingers and the grass and the shades and the temperature and all these things to ground myself there. And once I felt like I'd grounded myself enough, I go, okay, and I start swiping through the dimensions until I find one where there's no one, nobody, nada, no cars, no nothing, completely empty. And I just start doing cartwheels and handstands and just different things and just getting my exercise and flowing. And I did it through astral projection. It was so much fun. It was so sick. And then I came out of the shower. That's why I was laying there, right? Came out of the shower, I came here. And I had been so eager to sit down, to lay down, because I was like, I'm gonna blast off. So what I did, I took my tongue, right? You push it up. You're gonna feel the hard palate, and that's the top of your mouth. If you roll your tongue backwards, it eventually becomes softer, squishier. That's your soft palate. Now, if you roll your tongue just a little bit forward again, it goes back to the hard palate. There's this little line right there. So what I did is I put the tip of my tongue on that, just behind that little line, just so it's touching the soft palate. But if I nudge forward, I feel that ridge, and I rest the rest of my tongue on my soft palate. And then my eyes are just naturally closed. I'm not squeezing them shut, and I let my eyes kind of roll up like that. So I have those positions, I have the intention for astral projection held, and boy, I'm just bouncing back and forth from all these different places. And I have to be a little bit careful because I had a lot of energy. I was getting sick from how much energy I was. Like, I almost threw up 4 times. And here's the thing, is I put myself into this state where my physical body was insanely relaxed, but my mind was sharp, and I was going dude, I was not just here. And I did this for like 3 to 4 hours. So the bathroom thing where I went to the park, that was maybe like 11 to 12 p.m. So 11 p.m. to midnight. And then this part was maybe until like 3 or 4 a.m. Maybe even later. I don't really know. Every time I came back, I would have to like guess the sense of time because I was so not aware of here. And I was just bouncing back and forth. And the places I went, I'm not gonna lie, this is when memory gets a little bit bad. I have this memory of being in this jungle though, and like this perfect ball. And the thing was, I was keeping a strong awareness of my physical body while I was out there because I was having so much energy, so much like I just didn't know. I was a little bit put off of focusing that much energy into my astral body because I wasn't aware if I was going to be able to handle it. Like when I spoke about being given that fruit and I essentially got like high off of it, and being high in the astrals is weird because you have to like maintain a focus to keep yourself grounded there, because the thing is you can come back here, but that energy is really going to affect you here, and that's a lot for your physical body. And it's just uncomfortable at times. It really is. So yeah, I just kept bouncing back and forth. I'm like trying to remember. Yeah, the main thing is since I was still aware here, if I got an energy surge that was too strong, I feel like I'd have to throw up, so I'd have to ground myself here and make myself calm down and knock out of it. But yeah, so essentially, the intention is important. You set the intention, and once the intention is held for long periods of time, and you do other things to make you more excited, because one of the effects of an intention is if you're trying to do something, it makes you more prone to wanting to do it, right? That's what an intention does. It makes you more prone to wanting to do it, and by then accepting that you want to do it, then you allow all the data and information to come in to teach you how to do it, given your current surrounding and your level of awareness. And then from there, you can make it happen. So, set the intention to astral project. I was already figuring out. I already felt like I had my stuff down. I've done this before, so I had some background. I also watched videos to get me really excited and inspired to do certain things. So then it made the whole shift a lot easier. So in case I came across anything that caused resistance when I astral projected, I already had all this excitement and wanting to do it that could carry me past any obstacles. I had a strong resolve. There we go. And then once you're there, you just gotta ground yourself. And all the stories I talk about grounding myself and making sure that I'm there. Though sometimes with the partial astral projections, it's a little bit harder, not gonna lie, because you're not committing to putting your full awareness there. You're committing to putting part of it there. And it takes like a different level of focus if you're kind of half-assing. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I learned a lot, dude. Oh my god. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace. Best of luck out there.